Hello there, YouTube. I am Galar74, your coach of the Calgary Flamethrowers today, and we have a very exciting battle. This is Week 9, the final week of CGT, Champions of Galar. And in this battle, we are taking on Matt O'Shea, coach of the Montreal Milotics and former BBR champion. Now, before I add a premise to this, I highly recommend you go check out his YouTube channel, which is a lot more popular than mine. His link will be in the description below. Also down there is the CGT Discord and my Twitter for Galadite, which is very active. So I highly recommend you go check all those links out. Now, the premise of this battle today, simple as this: if we win this game, we lock playoffs. If we lose this game, there is an extremely high chance we don't make playoffs. There is a little bit of a window if we lose by a small amount and other games happen that go my way. But if we win, which I would much rather prefer, we can just slide in, no questions asked. So that's the idea behind this. A few months ago in BBL, as I mentioned in the Discord server a lot, I kicked Matt out of playoffs, and now the roles are reversed. He has a good chance to kick me out of playoffs, so hopefully that's not what happens today. Don't have too much else in terms of a premise. I can start talking about this matchup. There are things I want to touch on, so let's get into it. Graphic is on screen. His team is Dragapult, Excadrill, Scolipede, Primarina, Moltres, Pangoro, Gigalith, Vikavolt, Skuntank, Wigglytuff, and Kadabra. Now, the first thing my mind thinks of is my UPA team. The team I just used recently had Scolipede, Primarina, and Pangoro as a core, and I mention that because I think all three are going to come to this game because they're all very good in this matchup. The thing I didn't like about my UPA team was that I felt like the high tiers didn't complement or weren't strong enough for the team, while I think Matt on his team did a really good job at filling in holes with his high tiers like Pult and Drill, and then later on with stuff like Vikavolt, which he's really good at using. So I think his team is really well structured. The biggest threat to my team, I think, is the Pangoro. That easily breaks my team early on and can potentially ruin my late game plans in this matchup. Dragapult is very scary just because I don't know it's going to be physical or special. I'm leaning thinking he's going to bring a special Dragapult, but I don't want to take physical out of the question. So I'm not really sure yet, which makes it scary initially to deal with. Primarina is kind of a threat like Pangoro, but it's not as effective as Pangoro is at its job this week. Finally, if Corviknight gets chipped down, something like Drill or late game Pede can be very scary. So those are the big threats on his team. I could see Vikavolt Volt switching being quite annoying, but otherwise, his bottom three aren't that scary, and Gigalith's matchup's pretty bad in this one. And I think Sand as a whole isn't that great, so I think if Drill comes, it's going to be Mold Breaker. But that's really all I got to say about his team. My game plan, it's a little bit tweaked, as you guys will see in a second. I'm using Swampert as a breaker, just because I think ground and water spam is very good, and I'm going for a late game Bisharp, because a +2 Bisharp destroys this team. How reliable is Bisharp being able to get a Swords Dance up? Not sure, and that's what makes me a little skeptical, but I've built in a way to where hopefully I can maximize my potential to do that. But that is the team we are rocking out with, and that's my game plan. We are rocking with Corv, Snorlax, Bisharp, Rotom, Heat, Swampert, and Vileplume. Once again, this team does look pretty bulky, but let's look at the mons in detail. Corviknight is first. This is defensive with 3 attacks Roost. I felt like U-Turn was very useful because Drill and Pede don't get forms of momentum, so I could possibly gain momentum on them. I mentioned those mons because Corviknight, that's what it's here for, Drill and Pede. If one of them doesn't come, it makes its life a little bit more easier, and I can possibly use Corv more flexibly, like for a physical Dragapult or for Gigalith if that decides to come. But besides that, that's mainly what it's here for. switch into those and make sure those mons never become a threat. I don't think both come, but I could be wrong, not completely sure. I could see like a lead Scalpede and a breaking drill. I could see it the other way around. Not sure what Matt's going to do with this build this week, but that's what Corv is mainly here for. Next is Snorlax. This is a pretty high attack with a bit of spit def. I have 4 attacking coverage moves because this hits everything on Matt's team super effectively except for Skuntank. And I'm not worried about Skuntank at all, so I thought this was fine. This was really good at checking a number of things on this squad, namely Moltres, Primarina, and Vikavolt. Rotom can do that for 2 of those, but having an extra answer to them I think is pretty nice to have. Also, this deals with Special Dragapult pretty well. Now, like I mentioned, I don't have a great way of scouting if it's going to be physical or special first, so it might be kind of a guessing game. Hopefully I get into a position where it doesn't have to be that way, but if it's special, Snorlax is here for that, and it really deals with his lower tiers as well. Granted, I don't expect them to come as much, but if they do, I have Snorlax sitting right there. So it's a really nice defensive answer to a lot of things on this squad, and I liked its matchup here. Next we have Bisharp. This is max attack, max speed to outspeed Pangoro, Akaberry, and then a standard SD3 attack set. This goes crazy late game if I get a Swords Dance. Without a Swords Dance, Bisharp is just okay at best as a win con. In fact, it's not that good. With a Swords Dance, it's very well placed, as I can Swords Dance potentially on a Dragapult for switch out, a defensive Primarina, maybe Scalpede, I don't like that as much, stuff like that. It's mainly the Dragapult I'm looking at, and the reason I have Akaberry is for the fire coverage on Dragapult and Moltres. And I say Moltres because a +2 Sucker Punch never kills Moltres from full, so I might have to knock off. And with the Akaberry, I'll be able to do that. There are some ways that Matt can play around this, namely Sucker Punch being not the most reliable in the world, but outside of Sucker Punch, +2 kills everything. Iron Head kills Pangoro. Iron Head should knock out Primarina. That thing has got to be super, super bulky. Knockoff kills Drill. Gigalith dies, Vikavolt dies, you name it. This mon is crazy at +2, which also might deteriorate Matt from bringing webs, which would be very nice if he didn't bring webs. I don't think he's going to, just because my speed in this game is pretty bad, but if he does, that could help me out potentially. Next is Rotom Heat. This is offensive with some HP invested. Dual Stab, Dark Pulse, Pain Split. I like the idea of offensive Rotom a bit more because I have Snorlax already to defensively answer the things that Rotom would mainly do. Not saying that Rotom can't still switch into stuff like the Vikavolt and the Moltres, but if I have to, I still can, and I have enough offensive pressure to, deal with his team. This is really nice because Excadrill, with Corviknight running around, I'm not sure if he's going to bring it in the first place. If he doesn't bring it, free Volt Switch, and free momentum is very crucial in games like this. I have Dark Pulse to hit the Dragapult for super effective damage, and Pain Split just to stay healthy for the Moltres or the Vikavolt and other things late game. The coverage is really good. Rotom Heat's matchup was just really nice here, and hopefully I can claim a few kills with it. Next is our Breaker. This is Choice Banded Swampert with a lot of HP and some speed. This outspeeds Vikavolt. This is Stealth Rock, Dual Stab, Stone Edge. Stone Edge was a little iffy because I know if that Vikavolt not boots, it's going to be Chartyberry with the way he's running it. Flip Turn for a lot of momentum, and Earthquake is super spammable. The things that are immune to Earthquake do not want to take a Flip Turn or just give me momentum for free. So this was a really nice set to use early on. The speed is a little bit sus because Max Speed Prim and Max Speed Pangoro outspeed me, and it's really crucial that Swampert does outspeed those. But using both of those mons in UPA, I've been led to believe that running them bulky is a lot more viable than running a lot of speed. So I thought taking that risk is okay. Swampert, what it can also do is take any one hit from basically anything on this team that's not a grass move. and I thought that was very valuable in getting some really crucial damage off early on. Also, rocks look really good, though I'm not sure how much I'm going to be wanting to click that, considering I want to click buttons. Finally, we have Defensive Vileplume. This is Giga Drain, Moonblast, Leech Seed, Strength Sap, Moonblast to hit the Pangoro and Lepult. This is kind of just, this was either this or Conk, but I realized Primarina could be quite annoying, at least a Calm Mind one, so Vileplume kind of deals with that. This is a backup answer to a lot of different things like the Drill, the Gigalith, Skuntank, Pangoro. The issue with Pangoro is that if it's banded, I don't have a switch in, but at least I don't have to sack Corviknight early. I could sack Vileplume, as I expect to use Vileplume pretty early in this game. And because Matt has no grass type, Leech Seed is extremely free. And if you guys have been watching any of my runs with stuff like Ferrothorn, you know how much I love using Leech Seed. But that's gonna wrap it up for my team here. I'm a little suspect with the Bisharp endgame, but outside of that, I'm really a big fan of this team. I liked using Scarf Corviknight last week, and I think Bandit Swampert's gonna have a similar effect this week. And I think my defensive answers for most things are pretty good here. Hopefully we can come out with the W and move on to quarterfinals next week. I hope you guys enjoy this battle, and I'll see you over there. Alright, here we are in the game. I'm going straight into it. This is our 4th time trying to do this. Joins we tried first, had 1 million people on it, and the next 2 servers didn't work. So this time, we're on the same server as the last one, but I'm hosting. So that's some background information. Good luck, have fun to Matt. Looking forward to this. Without spoiling the rest of the results for this week, this is the final week of CGT. If we win, we're in. If we lose, we're out. Simple as that. You guys can work out the math, and we need to win this game. Regardless if we do or not, I've been pretty happy with the season, and hopefully land sticks up as it looks like it is. Go like have fun to Matt. We did lead off, but we never clicked buttons. At least I didn't. So this is the lead we got. The more I look into it, this lead sucks for me. I'm going to flip turn out. He has not been running speed on Primarina that much, and getting some chip on this would be really nice. If he's faster and has Energy Ball, that's really bad, as he's not. And the reason I didn't click Earthquake there is because Noble Primarina can live in Earthquake, and if he's not speedy, he's going to be HP invested, meaning that he's going to live the Earthquake, and I don't want to take 1 million damage. So this is the play we're making. And we're actually into the battle now. This is cool. They Scald. Perfect. That brings me down to 135. I don't get burnt, which is cool. 135. So I'm clicking Leech Seed. That is, don't think that's specs. No, that's not specs. That does look invested though. Yeah, that's just invested. Maybe like an item of some sort. I'm Leech Seeding. I do expect Moltres to come out here, but it's fine. They actually Psychic, they do have it, okay. That sucks, but I should live that, just barely. We'll get the Leech Seed off, which is very nice. And what I might do here is go out into Snorlax. Maybe, maybe not. Not exactly sure. We are chipping down this Primarina a bit, which is really nice. I did want this thing chipped down early. Vileplume is a pivot into this, and Pangoro. That's what this is mainly here for. I could see them going for a flip turn. I kind of hope they don't. This is tough. This is definitely tough. I think I kind of want to go into Swampert. Let's go into Swampert, because I don't think they're going to click Scald. The only really reasonable play I see them clicking is Psychic or Flip Turn, and both of which I'm okay with taking here, especially with Leech Seed up, as they Flip Turn. I did kind of expect that, but hey, what can you do? That's fine though, because that forces Prim out, and Swampert in front of kind of anything is okay, so this is fine. Swampert, we'll see what they want us to send out. Depending on what they do, I could throw up rocks. I really like the idea of having Swampert break, but if it's like in a situation where health doesn't matter, on the opponent at least, then rocks could get me more value long term. But we'll see. They do have 2 earthquake switch-ins, which was the move I wanted to spam. So I think flip turn might end up being the move instead. This is Vikavolt. I think I just flip turn out and go into Rotom. Yeah, that's just the play here. I'm built to outspeed this thing, unless it's like timid, which if it's timid Vikavolt, good bring. If he's webs, that does cause a little bit of an issue, but I do have a Bisharp, as that does 1,000,000 damage, and the Rocky Helmet. Okay, good to know. But I am going to go out into my Rotom here. Yes, okay. I don't mind if they Volt Switch, it's not a big deal. I won't do too much damage. They Volt Switch, okay, so that's fine. Yeah, that doesn't do too much, which is cool. Polt could come out here, which is annoying because the issue with that one is that I don't know exactly like if it's gonna be special or physical. That's the biggest problem with this. As they go out in the Prim. Okay, I'm going to Volt Switch, as I am faster than this, and do a lot of damage. I don't think I kill, which sucks, but this is fine. This could be the time I sack Vileplume. Not exactly sure. I could use Snorlax, but I think Snorlax in the late game is amazing, especially with a Moltres around. So I'm going to Volt Switch. That doesn't do as much as I thought. That might be Assault Vest. Actually, I think that is Assault Vest. And I think I go Vileplume here. Yeah. Definitely the play here. Not bringing Drill is really nice because I can Volt Switch around this team for free. As they're gonna Scald, they're gonna be in Torrent range, so this is gonna hurt. As it just kills me. Okay. Geez, that's some damage. So issue is that the whatever is gonna be an issue, the Pangoro is going to just exist there and be a threat to my team. I'm going Rotom and Volt Switching. Very free in this game. I could have went Bisharp there, but we didn't. So we will just Volt Switch. If they're Aqua Jet, good bring, but they've shown 3 moves and not a Fairy move, so I don't think they're Aqua Jet on this build. They can't bring Pangoro in for free, which is nice. If I kill this, I'm going Swampert, and then we'll figure it out from there. As this should kill. Hopefully it does. It does. Okay, cool. I sort of figured it would. So I go Swampert here every time. It doesn't let the Pangoro in. Or it does, but I can scout out its set that way. So we'll make that play. So Primarina's dead. So, yeah, it's mixed right now. This looks close. That's gone. And we'll see what they want to bring out. I might have to use Corv for... The thing is, I don't want to use Corv for Pangoro, because then that opens up Scolipede a bit. And that's what I'm a little bit scared of, like an endgame Scolipede, if I can't keep the Mon healthy. So that could be very scary. As I go Scolipede, okay, actually, hold on. That's not bad. I can Flip Turn into Corv. And then Brave Bird's really free in this game. Yeah, let's do that. As they Spikes, yes, this is actually the exact scenario I wanted. I don't like Spikes, but this will do around half. Yes. So they can't Endeavor me down too much. Their helmet on this too, really? Okay, whatever. And I just go Corv. Yeah, I go Corv. And I Brave Bird. Yeah, that's always the play here. Yeah, Helmet's annoying. It is. But I'd rather just... This is fine. I wouldn't even be shocked if they just get up another Spike here. and seeing how this is spikes, which I did expect it to be spikes. I thought he would use it as a lead, but he didn't. This is the exact set I was expecting could. I don't like that I'm at 59 HP, and I'm going to be even. I might die to this, actually. This is dead. Am I going to die to helmet plus recoil? I might live on, like, 2. Yeah, I'm going to live. Okay. This Pangoro is a big threat, but not the end of the world that's gone, because I don't need Corviknight really for anything else at this point, so that's an easy sack later on. Stalpede. I think this is just going to be a sack game, which is kind of what I wanted. This is a pole. Okay, this is scary, because I didn't really expect. I'm not sure how to play around this now. Snorlax is really good for the last 2 months. So is Rotom, though, which makes me want to go into that. I could U-turn here. I could Roost, too. I think U-turn's a little bit better. See, if I lose this, I lose my sack to Pangoro. I don't like going hard lax either, though. I don't think that's a great play. I'm going to U-turn. We'll figure that Pangoro thing out when we get there. A lot of my Dragon Darts. Okay, so I almost went hard Snorlax, and I'm really glad I didn't, because that would not have been great for me. Let's see if they show any item here. They don't. Okay. I think I might go Bisharp and try setting up. The thing I don't like about that, the reason I don't like that is because... well, I'm going to go Bisharp. I don't like setting up, though, because Moltres is at full health. And that can stop my Mon, potentially. But I do have Aqua Berry, so that does actually incline me to want a Swords Dance here. Because then, even if they go Moltres, I can Aqua Berry and just tank the hit and knock it off. We're going to go for it. We're going to do it. This might be the game here. Would they be willing to sack Polt? Basically, is the question here. They're not. Good. We made a great play there. This is the Vikavolt. This is fine. This is actually a really good scenario to be in. I knocked off this. Something dies here. That's it. Something's dying, and it's gonna be this. I think he just gives us this because Ironhead kills Pangoro. I have the Aqua for either Polt or Moltres. So I could just sucker the Polt too, for all I know. We'll see though. We'll see how much health I'm at too, because of the Rocky Helmet chip. You could see if there's Scarf or Jolly Pangoro, because Adamant doesn't outspeed me. This Vikavolt is dead. Cool. Yep, there's the chip. That's gone. Gotta make sure I don't throw this endgame here. They're gonna go into this. Moltres. Akka, max special attack, does 83 max. I'm at 101. I'm at 72. Ooh, if they're like invested, I die. This is really good against the rest of his team, though. Let's think about this. If I knock off this and they don't kill me, I win the game. That's the thing. Do I need to risk it? Because Polt looks scary too in this endgame. I'm going to stay in. We're going to do it. Knockoff does kill this, so that's why we're going to make this play. They're Mystical Fire. This shouldn't kill me. I don't think this kills me. Flamethrower is what I was calcing. It does kill me. Was it a crit? No. That's bad. That's really bad for me. That's offensive, very. That does 70. That has to be modest or boosting item. Okay. That's really bad. That's just, I don't know how to put it. That's terrible for us. We need to keep blacks healthy now. I shouldn't have risked that. I should have just went Rotom. This is a free Volt Switch, so that's kind of cool. If Pult comes out, it's not a big deal. Oh, that sucks. Agent Power. Oh my god. Wow, that hurts. We're gonna get the Volt Switch off of this, so that's kind of cool. That does a lot. Yeah, this is a very offensive Moltres, so that's basically what this is. Drag a Pult. I want to see if this is like banded Pult. Could be. Swampert doesn't take banded Pult from here. Does Swampert take Hurricane from here? 45 to 54. Doesn't really look that likely. I think Snorlax is just my... No, I need Snorlax's health. I think I lose. Snorlax or Swampert? I need Swampert for the Pangoro, so I'm gonna go Snorlax. This is a really bad spot. If I just switched out on the Rotom beforehand, we would have been in a lot of a better scenario. I think I choked the game. It spikes up, that's right. This has to be super offensive. Like, that was modest and that's, oh, man, okay. I think Rock Slide's fine. Or no, because, okay, they're at 20-ish%. They're not defensive. Hammer Arm doesn't kill. Because he can go Pangoro here, and I think that seals him the game. I'm gonna Rock Slide. I feel like it's my only move. I think this is gonna be our season, guys. Because he goes Pangoro here. Yeah, and like even if I clicked Hammer Arm, it doesn't kill this. So that's our season. I think. My only thought... hold on. Maybe we can still win this. My thought is I sack Rotom. Swampert doesn't kill this though. I gotta sack Rotom. Then go Swampert. I have to outspeed. Like, that's really crucial. And Earthquake. I think I lose this. I choked. I simply choked. Yeah, this kills me. That's not a question. Well, their defenses are lowered, so they Earthquake would kill this. I go Swampert. I need to outspeed. I think they just have one too many sacks. Man, I'm bummed, but I think he played this well. I'm mad because I didn't really need to make that play. It's just if they don't kill me there, I think I just win the game. I have plenty of time to just chill a bit. -1. Flip turn doesn't kill this, so I have to Earthquake. If they outspeed, it doesn't matter, but I do have a bit of speed into me, so they withdraw. Yeah, that's smart. They go into this. That's just the best play. I think I Stone Edge here because I want to. Oh no, I can't. I'm banded. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Okay, I go Snorlax. There's no one move I can lock into a Swampert either. But yeah, Pult just kills me at this point. Yeah, this is the game. I'm not mad, but I'm just, if I go Rotom, like they have Ancient Power, so maybe not, but I think I live a Mystical Fire into an Ancient Power. But in that scenario, I have Bisharp in the back, and Bisharp, if I can get in for free, looks extremely well in this endgame. So I definitely fumbled that a bit. I forgot I was banned. If I was Soft Sand, maybe. If they miss a Hurricane, but, I'm not. I don't think they're U-turn. They're Hurricane, yeah. And they hit it, so. That's a decent chunk of damage. Offensive Moltres. I guess it was pretty good against my team, the way looking at it. Am I just gunk shot here? Yeah, we'll gunk shot because it catches the Pangoro, but it doesn't matter. They just stay in. Okay, they were willing to sack this one. So this will... Gunk shot would kill this if I hit it. It doesn't matter. It's just for diff. And as I told you guys, diff doesn't matter. At this point, I hit myself in confusion anyway. So, yeah. That sucks. I think it was just that one play. Arguably, I could have played, made a couple other moves that would have been better in this game. But honestly, this was a good season. Again, just a little sad knowing that how it's going to end here. But Matt played well. Don't know too much else to say about this. This game plan was a little weird, not because it was out of my play style, but more because of the speed control in this team. My team was very slow. He had a Pult, a Pede, a Drill, potentially in Sand. That was all decent against my squad. Not like I'm, amazing, but they missed a Hurricane. That's kind of justice, but whatever. So I went with a slower game plan. I don't have Trick Room. I hit myself with Confusion again. Come on, man. But a lot of people have been bringing Trick Room against him recently, and I know Shay just did it, but not just him. Like it's been brought a few times. So I didn't like my Trick Room mons in this game, and I didn't really like the idea because the goal was to break and just kind of tank because my defensive answers were good. Like Corv was really good against Pede and the Drill, for example. So I thought maybe if he went for a Drill endgame, he'd go for the Spikes Endeavor Pede set like he did. So I got that right at least. No move I can lock into. I guess flip turn. Yeah. Maybe we'll get an extra diff point, as we kind of would have been nice, but whatever. It again didn't really matter. GG to Matt. I'm upset we're not making playoffs here. This is, fun fact, only the second time in my entire draft career that I'm missing out on playoffs. In a tough league like this, it's kind of understandable, but still, it just sucks. But I'm happy. I'm not salty about it or anything, because the hacks at the end didn't matter at all. And yeah, GG, props to Matt. I'm a little mad at myself for the Bisharp play, as I keep saying. But, yeah, that's going to wrap it up. At the end of all my seasons, I do a post-season analysis of my squad. We ended off negative at 4 and 5, and I think -1 diff would have been 0, but, yeah, that's going to wrap it up. I might talk about this a bit more in the post-season thoughts. And yeah, one more time, GG to Matt. Go check out his channel, and I'll see you at the post-game remarks. Welcome to the post-season remarks portion of the video. If you were here just to see the battle versus Matt, that portion is over. GG to him again. That was a very well-fought game. A lot of people like to do draft recaps as a separate video. I add 10 minutes to the end of my final video, and that's my draft recap. It might be a little bit longer than 10 minutes this time, just to let you guys know, but we are making it at the end of this video because we lost and we are not in the playoffs. So that's why we are here making this portion now. Finally, one more disclaimer. I will be talking about Week 9 results and stuff, so if you have not seen Week 9 results or want to go watch other CGT Week 9 battles, go do that first, because I will be spoiling it here, and don't say I didn't tell you. So let's start talking about us. We finished off 4 and 5 -1. In the grand scheme of things, that's really not that bad. That's pretty close to 500, and I felt like we performed decently well throughout this season. Now, there's a few things that I'm not too happy with. A, we didn't make playoffs. One of the most consistent things in my draft career is making playoffs, and in this league, I wanted to just make it. I didn't really care if we had to squeeze in. I didn't care if we lost round 1. It would have symbolized that we were able to compete with the best of the best in Wi-Fi. And I still feel like we did, though our results don't always show it. Second, we finished off 11th out of 14th. Now, I'm not happy about that, though I'm trying to convince myself more and more as it's been a few days since that it's not that bad, because 5th place was 5-1 plus 1. That's 1 game and 2 diff off. That's nothing. And 2nd place was 6-3. So really, the standings were pretty clumped up together for the most part, and we just so happened to be near the bottom of it. Also, and this is where the spoilers come in, Mountain, Sven, Sally, and Wolf were all under me going into week 9, and all 4 of them won. So that really didn't help in terms of final results either. I still feel like I could have played better though. The biggest lesson I gained from participating in this league is that one mistake can be your downfall. As against really good coaches like everybody here, I can make one mistake in a game and they can capitalize it so effectively, and you just can't recover sometimes. And you could say it could be the other way around, but this, because I ended up in 11th and not near the top, that separates me from, I think, the best of the best in Wi-Fi. That I wasn't able to capitalize on mistakes or capitalize on good plays that I made, because there were some, shining moments, of course, that I had in this league. And I think that's just the biggest thing I had here. Aquarius, I want to talk about her. Aquarius set out for this league to get the best Wi-Fi coaches currently in draft. And I think Aquarius did an amazing job doing that. Every coach here is very talented and very good at the game. Another big shout to Aquarius is that recently in leagues, BBL and UPA, at least near the end last time, I didn't really feel too engaged in that league, especially like BBL, where you guys know we won that championship. It's like I'm a ghost in that server. Like, it's like it didn't even exist. Aquarius does an extremely good job at making everyone feel included and everyone important. Not just the competitors though, like the spectators of CGT, because this league did get a pretty big following, and I think Aquarius did an absolutely phenomenal job at running this league. I know she thought it was pretty draining. I'm sure it was. And I want to give her some huge props for putting this all together, inviting me to this league in the first place. So thank you so much, Aquarius, for putting this together. You really are the best. But screw you for helping like half my opponents in this league. But please go check out Aquarius. And hopefully you guys continue to support CGT content creators, as the playoffs will be starting next week. Any 8 can win. I'm looking very forward to exciting, highly competitive battles. Now, that to my portion of even more stuff, like my schedule and stuff, I'll quickly glance through my games. I really enjoyed every game here, and besides one of my games, I'm pretty sure they weren't too hacks filled. Obviously, versus Jack, I got lucky on one turn, but I don't think it would have resulted, the outcome of the game wasn't directly affected. It just would have potentially made it more 50-50. You know what I mean? I only had one game this season that was really hacks filled. My game versus Leo was a nice learning curve. Wolf was a very exciting close game. Our game versus Goldoa was we 6-0'd him with Latios, and I think that was just because of some prep issues. Probably our best game of the season. Aquarius, that's where the hacks came in. We had a really string of good turns in that game where Aquarius just couldn't recover, and that was basically due to hacks. So I apologize for that. Matt, I'm gonna skip that battle. Struggle King and Vepsis, we simply just got outplayed. I didn't like my matchup versus Vepsis, though Shuckle King I did, and we just got outplayed basically and outprepped, and we lost those games fair and square. We beat Jack. We got a little lucky in the middle, but I felt like our game plan was very strong. And if you guys just saw against Matt, again, pretty decently close game, all things considered. Just Bishop didn't live. I could have switched out. That's on me. And I want to go back to Matt. And the reason I want to emphasize this game is because I mentioned how one mistake can lead to your downfall. I've made a lot of mistakes throughout the season in all of my losses and even some of my wins. And the difference between some of these mistakes between Matt's was that these are in the moment mistakes. Like, I built a conch set for Shuckle King that was meant to outspeed a clef that I thought he'd bring. He didn't, and I got outsped and I got knocked out. I could have switched out, so it's still on me, but I made a set for that particular moment that I thought I could gain some momentum out of, and it didn't work out. Matt, on the other hand, I made a completely stupid turn 1. I made a stupid play. I realized that Corviknight was really good in the matchup, and I basically sacked it turn 1. And the reason I mention that is because that game ended up being super close. And I'm thinking, if I don't sack the Corv there, or I play any differently, I can potentially win that game. And I say that because that brings me from a 4-5 record to a 5-4 into playoffs. Obviously, I'm not saying I would have won. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I would have been in a much better spot if I didn't make such a dumb play. And that's on me for making that play. But that one mistake potentially could have cost me my whole season. And I'm really upset with myself with that game. But otherwise, I think the season went pretty well. So, GG's to all my competitors I had. I enjoyed all the games despite. And hopefully we get to face most of these coaches again in the future. We are 8 minutes in. I'm not nowhere close to done, so I'm sorry. Let's talk about my team. The issue I had with my UPA team was that I didn't really like it. And I can't really complain about it this time, though, because I think my CGT team was pretty good. You see this core here. I think my team's really good on this. There's a few things I would tweak looking back, but otherwise, this is a well-structured team. We can start talking about positives and good things. Let's talk about like negatives first. I really wish I didn't have Jinx on this team and Lunatone. I kind of briefly talked about it, how near the end of a free agent deadline, I should have made a trade to get rid of Jinx and Lunatone for a 3-pointer that I could actually use, because Jinx felt just like a worthless mon on this team. And that's not because Jinx is bad. I think it's just because I had Latios, and Latios does basically the same thing, but better. So I wish I had done that with this team. One thing I wish I did prep-wise was didn't lock myself into one play style so much. This team was built around a Corv Swampert defense core, Latios Conch offense, and filler mons. And while that wasn't bad, of course, I realized near the end of the season, you guys saw, I brought Scarf Corv, Bandit Swampert. This team has a lot more flexibility than I initially gave it credit for. I said week 1 how Rotom Heat was a lot more flexible. It turns out most of my mons were very flexible, and I didn't quite notice that till a little too late. So that was a prep and play thing that I wish I kind of had noticed earlier. So wanted to mention that. Good mons on this team. Pretty much every mon on this team I'm pretty comfortable with. Bisharp was a little bit more uncomfortable than I thought, though when it performed, I think it really did perform well. The same with Conch. Conch didn't put up numbers like it did when I had it in the PCP, though I didn't mention it in my draft analysis. It's a different format, so Conch wasn't going to be as effective. I think Corv did its job pretty well most weeks. Same with Swampert. The only issue with that is that my opponents were able to notice that if they can break through Corv Swampert defense core early, I'm going to be always on the back foot. And coaches like Shuckle King and Vepsis took like insane advantage of that, and something I just wasn't able to fully capitalize on or like counteract. So that's on me. I could have prepped a little bit better to maybe take advantage of breakers of some sort, which Latios can do, Conch can potentially do. So that was something I noticed. Latios, amazing as always, really good mon. Every time I draft it, I get a little skeptical, but it always just performs really well. Rabombi doesn't always have the greatest matchups, as I only brought it to 3 games, but when it's got a matchup, Rabombi is a really good late game mon. Snorlax I started to appreciate more near the end of the season. Rotom Heat was a very well addition to this team. I said at the beginning that I was thinking about trading Rotom Heat for Cinderace, and although I had to face Cinderace again, which I wasn't happy about, I think Rotom Heat, all in all, was actually better on this squad. So I'm really happy I decided to not make that in the end. And every other mon was just okay. Vileplume fit on this team fine. Corviknight did its role. And overall, I would probably draft a team like this again. Maybe I would tweak with some things, maybe with the speed tiers, because they were still a little janky. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with this squad that I made. And a lot of these mons I would definitely draft again. I'm trying to think if I have any other notes about this team here. Again, not a bad team at all. And I'm just happy I got to use it to its effect. But that's going to start to wrap it up for CGT here. I really hope you guys enjoyed this run. The support I've been getting on this has been absolutely insane. I sound a little down right now, but I'm not. I'm pretty happy about it. So I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for supporting CGT, for supporting me all the way, and hopefully we can continue this. Now, the reason this is longer is because I want to add one more thing to this video. We're at 13 minutes. One more thing to talk about. The future of the channel. Now, you normally it'd just be like, GG, go next league. Next league isn't gonna be around for a bit, and I say that because I'm not retiring. I'm barely even taking a break. I'm not doing a league until BDSP drops, which is about a month from now, maybe a little bit less. And the reason I'm saying this skeptically is because I'm taking it easy for the first wave of leagues, even the second one maybe. I'm not going to be doing highly competitive leagues like CGT or anything like it. I'm doing like a friendly league, and I'm doing BFO search. And I'm mentioning this because there's a really high chance I don't upload either of those. So draft-wise, I'll still be around, all that stuff. But for the channel, I'm not going to be putting up draft as much. Now, moving from that, I do still plan on uploading once a week, just because I want there to be some content on the channel. With college, it does make it kind of hard to do more, because I also want to stream once a week. I say this like every 4 months, I'm going to get back into streaming, but this time I really mean it. I think after this week, I want my schedule to be 1 upload and 1 stream, just until college ends, and then we'll see what goes on afterwards. But just to mention that upload will not be a draft battle. It might be draft related, but it won't be a battle directly from me. So I'm going to be taking it a bit more casually, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be doing yet. I might put a poll on Twitter and my own Discord. I'm not sure yet. But if you follow my Twitter, I will keep you guys updated over there. And hopefully you guys come out to my stream. My Twitch is in the description below. And that's just for the future of the channel. I hope you guys stick around to support my content, as I hope you guys really enjoy it. I really do try for some of these weeks. So, yeah. That's going to wrap it up. We're at 15 minutes. I talked a lot, so I'm sorry if I dragged on a bit. I do tend to talk quite a lot. So, yeah. That's our CGT season. That's it. Go support other CGT creators. And without further ado, I'm Galar74, your coach of the Calgary Flamethrowers. Hopefully seeing you in my next YouTube video. Thank you for watching, and I love you all.